Speaking about DJs, let's get into it.
Oh man.
All right, so we obviously covered this guy, and it wasn't the last podcast. I believe it was the podcast before, episode 2. DJ Jazzy Jeff is coming out with a new controller. He's partnered with Pioneer to put out the SB3.
Yeah.
The issue with this SB3 is it has a scratch feature, a built-in scratch feature. So if you are DJing, it will scratch for you basically at the push of a button.
Like a scratch effect.
Yeah,
scratch effect.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Like there's literally
Built-in
a button on there
scratching.
that goes wiki when you press the shit.
Yeah.
So we just praised DJ Jazzy Jeff for being such the great DJ and originator and pioneer to this game that we love so much. How y'all feeling now?
Man, it hurts my heart to have this conversation. Man. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be honest because if you go back to episode 1 of For the Record, you know, I talked about DJ Jazzy Jeff and how he was like my top DJ of all time. You know, Philly's made. You know, and now he's coming out with a controller that has like built-in scratch features. You know, like the thing I appreciate about DJing is that it's one of those things that you can only get better at over time. The more time you spend with it, the better that you get. Yeah. You know, and scratching is not even like really like a main part of DJing. You do it because it just kind of like adds a personalized touch to whatever it is that you're doing. So now when you have like this built-in personalized touch, I mean, I don't even know what to call it at that point, but I mean, it just takes away from.
I'm gonna name it right now.
Yeah, it takes away. It takes away from the originality to be able to just DJ and recognize. All right, we all DJ on radio over here, right?
Right.
Now. No one in this room has to hit a drop when they're DJing for me to know who's DJing. You know, so when I hear D-Money DJing, I'm like, D-Money must be on air right now.
Yeah, this
because
is true.
That's his style. That's the way that he DJs. KayPlaya DJ on Mizzy DJing. You know, I'm like, that's the way these guys DJ. That's their style. And part of that style is the way that they scratch, the way that they're able to manipulate a record, all of this, right? So now if you have a scratch button, I mean, it's kind of like self-explanatory how ridiculously stupid this shit is to me. So, but if any of y'all can make sense of that, yeah, be my guest.
I'll jump in and I'll start off by saying I agree 100%. To Jazzy's credit, his idea. Okay. I mean, because we got to give them.
Call him DJ Jazzy Jeff. Just call him that because I don't want to feel like we cool and shit. Call him Jazzy. Like I don't rock with. All right, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Jesus.
I'm just saying, man. You know, I'm kind of hot right now. I'm kind of hot right now.
So Jeffrey. His idea behind it was to give up-and-coming DJs the opportunity to get a feel of how scratches are supposed to sound.
Give them an opportunity to sound like an expert or some shit.
So here's the thing. So from what he's saying, this is why he wanted to be a part of the project. He wanted to give up-and-coming DJs the opportunity to see how it would sound to be able to scratch records live. The problem with that is, and I'm sure he has to know, and what every other DJ knows that put the time behind learning how to scratch and do whatever you want to do with a record is, there's a whole bunch of lazy people in this industry that do it for the money and not the love of the craft. So they are definitely going to take advantage of this feature.
You're going to exploit the hell out of it.
Yeah. And you have to know this. And I think that is the problem a lot of DJs are having with it. It's because you're taking, not only are you putting the ability to scratch by pressing a button on a controller, you are putting it on the cheapest available controller that Pioneer offers, right? So it's a entry-level feature going on an entry-level controller. So if you got $250, you can go and get this controller. You don't have to learn. I don't even think they've released the price yet. Mm-hmm. But the previous versions.
I mean,
of
damn,
that
that's
controller,
high.
But right. But You know, you invest $250 in your controller. It ain't like you got to buy a laptop because everybody have laptops already, right? Mm-hmm. So you invest $250 in this controller. You download the app for free because you got the controller. Yep. And not only will it blend two songs together for you automatically for the most part, but it will also scratch records for you. So the first thing you're supposed to learn as a DJ is blending two records together. Absolutely. Right? Like, that is the fundamentals. And there's a sidebar. There's a lot of mobile DJs out there who don't think blending two records together is a thing, which is we'll talk about that another time. I just had to say that. But
now you're going to piss me off.
Oh, we're going to have discussions about that. But so that's the first thing. That is the very basic fundamentals of learning how to DJ, blending two records together. After that, once you get comfortable with blending those records, you can start adding your own flair. You start doing your little baby scratches, your flares, your chirps, whatever. Right. But the problem is, if you have it built in the controller right out of the box, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I get something and I just want to learn how to do the final product, I'm not taking 100 hours to figure out how to do it. I need the quickest path from A to B. So if I'm learning how to make beats and this thing got loops, I'm about to be using these loops. I may or may not want to learn how to do my own. So for DJs who aren't necessarily as passionate about DJing as us, especially before times like this, if out the box, if your first controller you ever buy gives you the ability to blend two records together by hitting a button and then hitting another button and the shit's scratching for you, what the fuck you need to learn how to do it manually for?
I mean, let's get it straight though. I mean, DJs aren't buying SBs to begin with though.
Established DJs, yeah.
No, I mean, DJs aren't buying SBs. Like, those are people who are like, oh yeah, I want to get into DJing. Exactly. Let me buy this thing. Oh, it's pretty cheap. Yeah, I mean, I spent, the price of an SB is what I spent on my headphones.
True. But I think the problem is, true. The problem is,
not me. Shout out to Urban Ears.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that too. The sidebar, we gotta discuss that anyway.
How y'all doing?
I think the issue with that is the general public doesn't necessarily know the time and effort spent into becoming the type of DJs we are, right? So say you are a DJ somewhere who's outside of Vegas, because Vegas is an anomaly, right? So say you a DJ in Middle America somewhere, you want to go and get a bar gig. If you got this controller and you can do the basics, you could put together a dope ass demo using mix, using the auto sync and the fucking auto scratch fucking feature. Give that to the bar manager. Like, yo, this is the mix I made. I would love the opportunity to come into your bar and fucking mix live, right? So now you got a gig after 45 minutes of figuring out how to work this controller when you really not ready for it. So when you go and actually perform live and you suck, now this bar owner is looking at this DJ's experience like, yo, what the fucking DJs are terrible these days.
At the same time, that's on the bar owner. And then, just to kind of piggyback off of what we was talking about earlier, the general public, I guess they don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
all the work you can put in and all your skills and abilities is like, they don't care. Just play my favorite songs.
I think they kind of do though, because to a certain degree, you got to think about how often has this happened to you to where like a club or a promoter couldn't afford your price and they went with the cheap DJ, right? Yeah. And then next time they come and holler at you, they talk about like how terrible the last DJ was, and they glad to have you to come back.
Yeah, and that's when you up your fucking prices on their ass.
I didn't see in the parties rocking with the sorry DJ.
Like, yeah, I mean, that too. And people like to say that, but then they gonna go to whatever is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds good. You may get the 1 or 2, 3 people who are like, oh, you should be out there DJing. This motherfucker sucks. But then the next week they right back there.
Yeah, they right there in the spot, you know? You know what I'm saying? And the only time people really know the difference is when you play before or after the other DJ.
Yeah, that's really when it really affects.
You're like, that's the best. Yeah, there's a difference. Like, yes, there is. Yeah. So, I mean, the DJ culture went so left.
Yeah.
I'm a say it. Fuck it.
Hey, look, Jazzy Jeff, this is some bullshit, and you ain't pushing the culture forward.
I don't.
Jazzy Jeff, you're not pushing the culture, but you pushing your bank account up. So
definitely,
I get it.
So in case by the time you watching this, you didn't know. So like Pioneer's releasing this product, and obviously DJs are like, yo, what the fuck is this? So Jazzy Jeff came out with a whole statement about why he decided to do this and how this doesn't affect the working DJ and blah, blah, blah.
Which his explanation is terrible, by the way.
The point is, and you know, similar to what he was saying, I don't like going to a club and watching Jazzy spin was probably one of, I can count on 5 times how many times I fanned out over a DJ DJing. Mm-hmm. And watching Jazzy Jeff live was one of them. But fuck that. This shit is some bullshit.
Look, I'm going to say this. You're probably going to look stupid holding down the button
on your SB.
And on that note, fuck it. Hey,
true.
To each his own.
True.
To each his own. Yeah. What?
I mean, you know.
Hey, like I'm just saying, like if you really want to sit up there, like
I just feel like it
the wiki button.
It cheapens. Like at the end of the day, it cheapens our price. Because you're going to have a whole lot of entry-level DJs coming in trying to get these entry-level jobs who shouldn't be looking for jobs at the point of skill or talent that they have. Right? So they coming in for $50. So even if they come in for $50, like, shit, I'll DJ for $50. When you come in for $500 and you are experienced, that number looks astronomical to you.
I mean,
and that's the problem.
But at the same time, that's on the venue manager or the person who books the talent.
Yeah, but they the ones who paying. They need to, I mean, shit.
I mean, yeah, you look at bottom lines, but more times than not, it's all about the venue. You know what I'm saying? If that's the route y'all want to go, like, best of luck to y'all.
But we already know that's been proven. There's more people who's willing to go that route.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That isn't.
That's the problem.
It's super proven.
Especially not in Vegas, you know, but that's the problem.
In Vegas, not in Vegas.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely here, but imagine these smaller cities, what the fuck they about to go through with this shit.
That's true, too.
So who getting the SB3?
Thinking about it. I mean, not for this price though. Like these prices shit crazy.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool, son. Like if y'all drop the price, you know, $7,575, then maybe we could talk about it.
Look, I know I'm gonna walk into a club with an SB3 and I'm about to get off on that thing.
Hey.
And I'm about to be hitting all types of scratchy
Scratching your ass off.
Hey, let me come across an SB3. You about to hear scratching every second of every song.
The whole song.
Everywhere.
Yeah, excessive scratching. DJ gonna have
in the middle of the song.
On.
Right.
Hey, you gonna be killing the scratch with a drink in the other hand and shit. Like, wiggy. Like, come on, man.
Like, damn, that DJ.
How is he doing that shit? He must have like 4 arms or some shit.
It's all in the wrist.
Right.
It's all in the point,
man.
Hey, Jazzy Jeff, you gotta do better.
You gotta do better.
The bag is not that important.